Tim was a thinker and a writer, and he's dead. He died making virus masks for Texas first responders, despite his having 5 kidney failures. He died at the hospital in Galveston on April 23rd, 2020. Tim wrote to me and myriad others beginning in 2006, describing his prison conditions. He also wrote about his inhalant addiction, his Vietnam experiences, failed marriages, and his lost freedoms from his addiction. While in prison, he earned college degrees and wrote novels and published short stories, describing both prison conditions and the lives lost to addiction. Years ago, he wrote, quote, "When my kidneys started failing me, I was thinking about taking the coward's way off this old planet. But I can't stand to think of not leaving a legacy of any type in this world. No kiddies, no wife, no nothing. I prayed to God, although I was mad as hell at him, and found a way to leave this legacy and found a way back to him again." That legacy is a superb collection of short stories, some published, and many out there circulating from magazine to contest. With his prize money, he was able to buy a typewriter and continuing supply of ribbons. Quote, "Writing surpasses these bars in prison, and I am able to soar outside these fences and past the gun towers and tell my story that I hope will someday bring about some changes." He had a new manuscript out with a good friend to type, Cowboys and Spaceships. Creative, insightful, provocative, and now perhaps never published. One of Tim's stories was published by the Marshall Project. When his death was announced, they memorialized him, including excerpts from some of his stories. Tim spoke as often as he could to new groups, describing his own addictions and the price he was paying. Studying the legal system, he learned what had happened to him in the courts and what options he might have had to break the addictions instead of being locked in a cage. He graduated from Glenn College despite the bars. He graduated from Lee College. He took correspondence courses, received an honorary degree in theology and divinity. He studied to become a paralegal. His death is a waste of his intelligence, remorse, thoughtful teaching. His death was preventable. The Texas Department of Criminal Justice did not begin testing until May 10th or so. They're testing the very people who were constricted into the shops to make the masks for those outside. They didn't get masks. Tim's sewing schedule increased weekly as the TDC announced rising quotas. Already medically insecure, he obviously got tired. In his last days, friends had to help him up the step each time he went to medical and returned. Tim wrote to me that he was scared. "I can't afford to get the stuff like anyone else in the world. No one wants it. But after all this time trying to get my life together, we have this killer waiting to attack. And it's these stupid folks that won't pay heed to the warnings that will end up killing us needlessly." Tim had been turned down in April for parole, despite having served more than 30 years. Quote, "Why doesn't the parole board stop handing out 5-year set-offs? We've done what was required." He did that and more. He died.